What is up, Nintendo Land? Welcome to Nintendo Open Air Podcast. This week, like Drift, rifting through the sky, we're traveling all over Nintendo Land. We'll visit Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which held true to the predicted update. We'll visit the land of the Squid Kids as we talk about this past week's Splatfest. We'll even visit the gamer homeland as we talk about the top games in Japan. And I'm sure somewhere along the way we'll stop by for a good old Durr Burger. So reattach those Joy-Cons and put down your Pokémon Tournament DX Pro controllers and listen in as we visit all the latest and greatest sites in Nintendo Land. Of course, to start out, we have to start where we've been starting lately, and that is with Fortnite. If you are not up on Fortnite news, this is an official celebration of 1 year. Their first anniversary is going on right now. Lots of different challenges going on, birthday cakes to see, little cool bonuses added into the game.
Dance in front of.
Yeah, cakes to dance in front of course.
And there's little birthday. Yeah, there's birthday games. I know. I saw a skeet shooting game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just in there for fun, as if people needed more things to be distracted by in that game. Instead of trying to collect stuff or actually get to the circle.
Yeah, those times when you're down by 20 and you see the rest of your team standing in a town a long ways away, you know, they're just
We're doing donuts in their ATKs.
Yep. Running each other into walls and shopping carts.
All train carts, rather, for the uninformed.
That's right.
It's hard for me to say ATK, but yeah, there's a new submachine gun weapon that's pretty crazy and maybe overpowered. I don't know. Holds 50 in the clip, so you can really just spray that thing forever.
Yeah, that was one of the things they done to the previous SMGs, which is reduce the amount of ammo in the clip. They made up for it with this one.
Yeah.
They are hard to find, though.
Yeah, I like it. It's almost like a SMG version of a drum gun at that point, with 50 in the clip.
So how much ammo does the new one have?
50.
Well,
the new the regular SMG, they dropped it from 35 to 30.
Right.
But this new compact SMG has 50 in the clip.
Oh, okay.
So it just sprays and sprays and sprays. It's only available in like the purple legendary and orange epic, or vice versa, I guess.
Vice versa, yeah.
Orange legendary, purple epic. I don't remember which one's better.
Orange is better.
Legendaries. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't remember which one is epic and which one's legendary. I think legendary is the orange, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I just finished my birthday challenges. You got to go to 10 different birthday cakes and dance in front of them. What else did you have to do? Just deal damage to people and play 14 games. So it's pretty easy. Rocket League just had their big birthday celebration, so.
That's right.
It's the time of year for everybody to have their birthday, I guess. But it's kind of cool that they do that stuff, and they tricked out the little battle bus with a birthday candle on top and streamers and balloons and all the supply drops or balloons or gifts.
Yeah, I really like the supply drop, how they've updated that. It drops like a giant present. It has little balloons as it falls. That's pretty cool.
It's cute.
They are hosting a contest, by the way, which we have not entered yet. Is they want to see your best dances in Fortnite in honor of their anniversary. They have a special hashtag for it, which I do not recall. But, yeah, you may have to post that and retweet it on the podcast Twitter if you want to see it. So
they just want to, they either want to see what dance you've bought, or maybe they want to see actual people dancing.
I wonder about that. I thought it was
interesting,
but maybe not.
No, they'd probably prefer that you buy a dance in the game and do it that way.
We all know a few dances outside of the game, right?
I think so.
We practice to intimidate children at school.
Yeah. That was a good news story. But yeah, it's always something to do in Fortnite, that's for sure. Even if it's just play for hours and hours and hours and hours.
I have to say one thing that I've come to appreciate about Epic is how they kind of pay homage to their fans. As you know, Ninja is one of the big streamers, and he made a comment one day about he would use a pickaxe plunger if there was one, and then they made one and put it in the game. And just recently, there was this little rescue attempt video, if you haven't seen it, it's been going around, where someone tries to rescue another player that's off the side of the map. And they ended up eliminating him pretty hilariously, but Fortnite people actually put in a little memorial to that in the game. So this little touches like that goes a long way. They really bring the community together. It's nice.
I almost tweeted at them this morning. So when they launched their birthday celebration, it ended up only going out to a few people, and the rest of the people it did not go out to. So they had to wait for like 8 hours or whatever for it to actually go out. And I was gonna like hashtag epic fail. I did.
That's nice.
By the way, the pink bear is in the shop today, and the Stone Love Ranger guy.
Those were both Valentine's Day items. If you weren't playing then, so
maybe for birthday love, they decided to bring them back. But yeah, now they've had an issue with the new Slurp juice. They had just upped the Slurp juice from 25% to 75%, but they had an issue, so they had to disable it. And then now they had an issue with the remote explosives, so they've taken those out as well.
They're really quick to jump on things. It's not like
except Splatoon. For the back bling issue.
I don't know what the deal was with that.
Yeah.
They didn't care. It wasn't affecting gameplay for them.
Actually, I mean, it's just an aside note. My internet went out today, and when my internet went out, I was actually playing with Mo, and I had it up, and he was telling me, you can remove your back bling. And I went to it, and I click remove, and then save. And just as it was going to the save screen, my internet completely cut out. So it was the curse of the back bling.
Yeah.
I did remove it later safely.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to do it, especially for the new Drift character and stuff. It's like he's got like one of those Shinto temples or whatever on the back of his coat. You could never see it.
That's right.
So now you can see it. It's kind of the shrine or whatever.
I'm still not really into back bling that much. There's some that are really nice, the ones that are capes and things.
Yeah. The Visitors is really the only one that I feel is like kind of part of the costume.
Yeah.
And some of the ones, like the stone guy, you want to have the wings. The shark outfit, you'd want to have the fin on the back.
Right.
So sometimes they are, but yeah, for the most part, it's just like I'd rather not have a backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's just an add-on.
Yeah. Unless I'm being funny and putting like the pink backpack on some dude.
Real dudes wear pink, I guess.
They do. Not usually with candy canes and lollipops sticking out. No. Maybe.
Depends on what you're into. I mean, if you're into candy canes and lollipops.
And pink.
And pink. Mm-hmm. That's the backpack for you.
I guess so.
Pink's just a color.
That's true. It's all pink on the inside. That was for Z.
All right, so moving along before we get into too much of what Z likes, because we all know what he likes. He's not with us tonight, by the way, so we're making up for that a bit. So last week, we brought up about supposed comments that there will be updates coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Switch. And I think we were all pretty surprised, I was, that it actually landed a few days later.
Yeah, they met immediately.
Yeah. They don't announce anything anymore until it's ready to happen.
Yeah.
But they updated Link to the Breath of the Wild outfit and updated the Master Cycle to the Master Cycle 0. So it's kind of a cool little update.
Yeah, and it's just like an alternate, like doing the Inkling Boy or Inkling Girl, or I think there's a Villager Boy and Villager Girl. Like you just go to the Link and you can change from either Breath of the Wild Link or the Green Link. And then you can change the Master Cycle to the Master Cycle 0.
It's
the choice.
It's a free update. Just added to the game. So.
And they did have to add new wheels for that motorcycle as well. I feel like they added something else. Oh, and a new glider. They added the Breath of the Wild glider as well
Oh,
Oh,
for
that's
the thing.
nice. That's probably the coolest
So, yeah.
thing ever. Yeah.
They went all
Yeah.
out. For some reason, they just decided, you know what's going to
Yeah.
get people back in the game? Is adding adding this. If they were on the edge about whether or not to buy it, now they're going to buy it. Sadly, I did not hear them adding that to the Wii U version. Wah, wah.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But oh well. We'll see.
Have you played it? You have Mario Kart 8, right?
I did. Yeah, I played it. I think I uploaded a Twitter video, maybe. Maybe I didn't. It wasn't that great. It's kind of funny because it's still like a really tiny motorcycle. So it still kind of looks ridiculous, even with the little tiny motorcycle and a big Link riding it. But it's like a little mini pony version of that Master Cycle Zero. But yeah, it's all right. It's cute. I think it's one of those ones that pushes to the outside instead of the inside or whatever. I can never
Oh.
quite get the hang of those.
I've never been
When
good
you're
with
doing the
bikes.
Yeah. I think I don't know if some of the carts are like that as well, or if it's just I think it's just the bikes.
Yeah, I think so.
Some of the bikes will go inside like a cart when you're going around a turn, and other ones will go to the outside when you're going around a turn.
I always use the bike in Mario Kart 8.
You do?
Yeah, I like it better than Kart.
Oh.
Nice.
They're cool looking, but
Yeah, it
Meh.
seems like the people that play them are good with them, and I'm not one of those
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, I'm not good at Mario Kart in general. Like I can beat my daughter. That's about it.
A slight
I
age
think.
advantage.
Yeah, it's like I know how to take the corners and drift and stuff, but that's about it. I don't go to the extreme of like, and it's probably not even an extreme, but I don't even go as far as to like learn where the shortcuts are. Like for the
Oh,
most part, it seems like with the shortcuts, you almost have to have like a mushroom to be able to hit them anyway.
you don't
A
play
lot
the
of the times,
you don't do the time trials and grind those out and beat the
and
speed.
learn all the. No, not really. I might do a couple of them just for fun.
See, I do them all, and
Nothing.
it's terrible.
Yeah, it's like doing the
Hard.
races in Mario Odyssey.
Yep.
Like some of those were crazy for a while. Now I got it. Now I know how to hat jump and jump again and flippy whippy and all that stuff. I can take mad shortcuts in those races now. Mario #1.
By the way, have you guys seen the polls coming from Nintendo recently? It was who do you prefer, whatever, and it was Mario versus Luigi. I think Luigi was way ahead when I saw it.
I saw Waluigi versus something.
Waluigi
Yeah.
versus Luigi was the newest one. I don't know what that's about. It's the tennis versions, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
You know Waluigi's gonna take it.
I don't. He
There's
has
so much Waluigi love right now.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Wah. I think it's like an internet joke. Like Ridley got in, Waluigi will be DLC. I think they should do that. They should just make him DLC and make people pay $1 for him. Put your money where your mouth is, people. Are you really a big fan of Waluigi, or do you just think it's cute because you're a smartass? Let's find out. Nobody likes Waluigi.
I did see an interview where they were talking about possibility of Smash Brothers DLC.
Yeah.
And it was, I didn't include this in the topic list because basically the interview just said, we don't know
It was Trinan, wasn't it?
It was Bill Trinan, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like basically saying like, Daddy Sakurai can figure out once he's done putting the final touches on the game whether he wants to do DLC or not.
Yeah. It was
very like Nintendo doesn't have a say in that. Like they're not like, hey, make sure we got a way to monetize the hell out of this thing beyond just selling the game. Maybe we'll get a Smash Battle Pass. The Smash Pass.
Oh, don't say that.
We can unlock Waluigi for
I fear,
$5
I fear when Nintendo gets around to doing battle passes,
in
which
20 years.
yeah, in another two. I was going to say 2 or 3, but yeah, 20. Yeah, I fear what it'll be like.
I'm trying to think of which of their games would be good for that. Like I said, Sub Wars would have worked. If they
It
would,
kind of had that anyway. Level
yeah,
up unlocks.
right, yeah, sort
Anything that
of, yeah.
has level up unlock top deal, I think would be okay.
But I'm trying to think what they could sell you. I mean, if this really was Ultimate Smash, and they were not going to release another one at least for a long time, they could do that where they just have every couple months or something where they have something where there's a new batch of DLC, and instead of buying the individual characters, you just pay $10 and you get different things and maybe different move sets, and like how the Mii Fighter was all super customizable and there was all these
True.
different things you could unlock. Like maybe they do something like that. Alternate costumes.
It would have to be, and I think that's the way that Epic has nailed it. It's all cosmetic, and it
Yeah.
pays you back for your investment. I think that's the secret to success right there. And will
Yeah,
Nintendo do that?
that's the best thing about that battle pass is the V that you get V-Bucks. So as long as you're not tempted to buy dances and outfits and stuff, you can earn the price of your next season's battle pass with this battle pass. So you just buy one and you can pretty much pay for it every season on its own.
Yeah.
Of course, I broke
Yeah.
down and bought 2 dances, but
You
You
could have.
should.
You gotta tell us which.
tell us what?
You gotta tell us which one.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that zany one, where he does the little face thing, little head thing where he puts his hands up, and then I did what's the other one with the money?
Oh yeah,
Those are the 2 that I bought.
to make it
Right.
rain.
Yeah, make it rain. That's it. So I bought a couple. It's like I like the dances, but to think of somebody actually spending $5 or $8 on a little dance for their character seems outrageous to me.
Yeah, that's me too.
I was
But I
seeing.
figure I don't mind buying the battle pass every time and then just spending the V-Bucks I get on little extra stuff that way.
Yeah.
I saw a Twitter post, and I think the guy had the right idea. I mean, he didn't really specifically go into this, but he just mentioned this. He had bought one of the premium costumes or whatever, and he'd bought like the pickaxe to match it and stuff. But he just like made it that his one purchase. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
If you weren't going to do
It's just like, this is my character.
right,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
always going to be Moisty Merman.
that's right. That's only
Yeah.
me that has an affinity for the Moisty Merman.
No, I like it too, but not $20. None of the outfits do I like $20 worth.
No.
I don't think.
I wouldn't even like them for 10 or 5.
Yeah,
5 I would
5 maybe.
maybe.
But yeah,
They're
they need to do
one or two.
sales
Yeah.
or something. But like I said, it's hard. It's just like I've talked about with Rocket League's upcoming Battle Pass thing. You can't make something free that people have previously paid for. Like a lot of people have called for Rocket League to be free to play, but it's like there's no way you can do it without pissing off everybody that bought the game. So it's like it's the same with Fortnite costumes. If you start putting stuff on sale, and people are like, "Oh, I bought that when it was $20."
I think you're right. I mean, you're definitely right. And I know I wouldn't be too happy if Rocket League became free to play next month or something.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't on the list either, but it's been pretty funny. So Rocket League, out of nowhere, I'm sure it has nothing to do with all the litigation in countries that's been happening right now, decided that they're going to just straight out give you the numbers on what the chances are of getting certain items out of crates. And your chance of getting a black market, like a black market decal, is 1%.
Wow.
So
That's less
if you spend $100 on keys, you should get one of those flashy decals for your car.
Actually, be a
The only
better.
black market thing I have is the fireworks skull explosion, and it's like the least flashy of the black market stuff.
Yeah,
But-
and I think Barry, by the way, who's, if you don't remember Barry, he's a great listener, been on the show several times, had done the calculations previously and had been pretty close to them.
Yeah. But people have been memeing it all over the place with just like not. I guess. I mean, I think it was pretty much known, but people are now just like surprised. Like, you're telling me I have to spend $100, and out of that $100, only 10 times will I actually get like a new car, or something like. I guess I've been fairly lucky to have gotten some of the stuff that I've gotten, because I have not put $100 into it. But I had put plenty into it at the time. I didn't even really participate that much in their birthday celebration. They had a whole bunch of like cool tires and stuff, and I never even played. I've been bogged down in Fortnite. It's my new grind.
Talking about the percentages reminds me of Fire Emblem Heroes, and if I remember right, wasn't the percentage for getting like a 5-star hero that was featured in the banner, wasn't it like 3% or something? Am I thinking right, Max?
Yeah, it was something like that, really ridiculously low.
1%. So it's like 1/3 the chance. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. That's why people pay. Well, I wonder if it's going to have an effect on prices now. But people are already paying like sometimes $25, sometimes $60 for those decals. I wonder if they'll adjust the price. Be like, well, if it's really just 1 in 100, and I'm going to sell it for $80, it'll be a deal.
Yeah.
But those odds also re-roll every time, so you don't really have a 1 out of 100 chance. You've got a 1 out of 100 chance every time.
Yeah, that's true. It don't
Yeah.
So
stack.
you're still not guaranteed to get one if you spend $100. I think they should do stuff like that though, or just make a maximum limit that once you've spent something, you just get all the stuff. I don't know.
I mean, I understand the people buying things. If there was something there that I really wanted, rather than even spending $10 on keys, I would rather pay $15 and just have it, and you
Yeah.
have what you need.
Yeah. But that's but then it's like Fortnite. It's with a $20 outfit. It's just too steep.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I said, I if it was $1 and you had a chance of getting a moisty merman or an owl pickaxe.
I still don't think I would drop money on it if it was a loot box situation.
Yeah. But would you use if you got up to 800 V-Bucks, would you think about buying that bird axe?
That I might. That's pretty cool. Yeah. If you haven't seen that little owl pickaxe, it's pretty epic. If bird.
Yeah, it's just like a solid bronze or gold owl at the end of a stick.
Yeah, it's fancy.
Perfect for bludgeoning people.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I mean, they'd all hurt, but that's one where you're like, boy, that's just blunt force trauma right there. I still like my tenderizer. But anyway, yeah, hopefully Nintendo doesn't get hip to monetization, but I'm sure they are. Especially with battle passes and stuff gaining in popularity all the time. At some point, they're going to think, how can we do this? Oh, I know, an Animal Crossing battle pass where you get new furniture that you unlock through grinding.
That's kind of what they've done in Pocket Camp. Right?
Yeah.
It's better than loot boxes. Like that's what I previously thought, and I'll take a battle pass over a crate any day. At least you're paying up front, and you know what you're getting out of it.
That's true.
I tell you, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp still terrifies me. They're adding so much new content to it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So many people are still playing it. It's like, I just want to ask people, if you aren't in love with the game, stop playing it.
Yeah.
supporting
I wonder
that.
if Barry still plays that.
I don't know. That'd be
Oh,
a good question to ask him. I did
Is it
talk to him. He might be joining us sometime in the next month or so. So hope so.
Yeah, it's like I haven't even opened that game in so long, but like I can't imagine people playing every day and getting any kind of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
So much
once a
work.
game becomes boring, you should probably just stop playing it.
It's not so much as boring, just it was so much work trying to find all the right insects and stuff.
Oh yeah,
And that it reset every so many hours, and you felt like if you weren't doing it every
2 hours you were leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
you weren't maximizing your potential. And
Right.
yeah. I hope that does not continue into the new Animal Crossing. I think
Yeah.
about what they've done to a game series that I really like, which was the Pokemon Rumble series. It's always been just a game you would buy, and then the 3DS version that they released, the second 3DS version they released was kind of that more of a mobile game approach where you had so much time where you could buy more time and stuff. No, that's not a good
Yeah.
direction for any game, I don't think.
I mean, I think the numbers are definitely there that if you put little microtransactions, you're going to make more than you would if it's free to play. There's no barrier to entry. Everyone downloads it, and you might get more people paying for it than you would have. Like that whatever the Pokemon Quest game, I would have never even. Oh, I would have never had that downloaded it. I wouldn't have even tried a demo if it wasn't free to play.
Right.
But since it was free to play, I was like, oh, I guess I'll check it out. It's free.
I could
Not for
probably
me, but
I could say the same about Fortnite. I would not have purchased Fortnite, but you guys said, let's try it. We probably won't like it and we'll delete it later, but let's try it. And then here we are. We're still talking
Yeah.
about it all this time later.
Yeah, I never would have bought it without trying it first.
it's good times. What
Uh,
else happened this week?
That's right. Over the weekend, we had a big Splatfest, and it was surprising. I think they done this pretty early. I guess it's to promote the new amiibo coming out. So it was Octoling versus Squids. And
Or the Octo expansion.
that too. Yeah, it was kind of between the both. But Squids did pull out the win in the end. And I think almost all of us went Squids. I think all of us on the podcast did go Squids.
Yeah, I did.
And
This
it
is
really
my first one not participating.
yeah. We missed you too. We didn't
Yeah, we
have
did.
I'm splatted out. I've given all I can to Splatoon 2. I did not even buy the Octo expansion.
I have to say, I was excited for the Octo expansion, but I haven't. I have not took the plunge on
bought
it.
it?
I still
Not
have the
really.
funds set aside for it, but I haven't bought it.
I bought it, but I've only played like one or two. I don't think level's even the right word. I barely played it. There we go. I was surprised with this Splatfest that the Octolings won popular. I was playing as a squid. I had to play several games against other squid teams. That really surprised me.
I had
Octoling's the hot new thing.
I know. They were more popular, but yet I had to play against the less popular side.
Yeah.
and I also had Octolings on the squid teams, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Which you paid $20 to get that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be rocking it too.
Yeah.
Might as well. Yeah.
I had a lot of disconnects, which I haven't had.
How was the Shifty Station? Is that the name? I almost said Shifty Shafts.
Yeah.
I probably would have liked it, but I only got to play it 10 times. So.
Wow. Is that a new one?
Yep, it was a new one.
I missed it.
There were doors, and you had to shoot a tentacle and get him to come down.
It was really odd how the stages played this time. I started playing before Max, I think, was playing, and I had Shifty Station almost solid. In fact, in the first 2-hour rotation, I only had that and Snapper Canal. I never saw the other stage.
Wow, lucky. I would like it much better if I could have the Shifty Station more.
It was fun, but it was kind of boring and plain. It just opened doors, and you could walk over to a new area. It wasn't as tricked out as some of the others, I didn't think, but it was still fun.
They could do a Splatoon 3 as a free to play with a battle pass, and it's the way that you unlock gear.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just some no skin squid that just has the stupid yellow shirt.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that would probably actually work.
And you only get the
weapons.
Splattershot Junior, the original Splattershot Junior, and that's all you can use unless you get the battle pass to unlock. I mean, it's kind of how it is now, except for you're spending $60. But new weapons unlock as you hit certain levels now, anyway.
Yeah.
I think they would have to give you all of the weapons up front, all of the base models, and then you unlock
the special versions, the variants. But yeah,
that could work.
See,
there
you go, Nintendo. You win.
Yeah,
just gave you that. You can have that one for free.
Yep.
Let's just put us thanks in the credits to Nintendo Open Air Podcast.
If you thought Squid Partying was crazy before, just wait till it goes free to play.
Oh wow.
Like, I had 3 stupid yellow shirts on my team, all just squid bagging the whole time.
That is one good thing about Fortnite. You have the 50 versus 50 mode. So you can have 10 or even 15 of those no skins just over there looking at the sky or smacking the ground with a pickaxe, and you can still win that game.
I've seen a lot of people on Reddit saying, can we please get rid of this stupid 50v50 mode? Like, people hate it for some reason. I think it's, like, great. It's, like, nice and casual. I wish it was just an all-the-time thing. Like,
it's nice knowing that the odds are really good that the person running next to you is on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't have to try and kill everyone.
Up to a certain point, but yeah. I didn't even like the 5 teams of 20 as much. It's like, at least this one, there's less enforcement of teamwork on this one. It's like when you've got a squad and you're filling with all randos, you gotta, one of them's going to Tilted, one of them's probably going to the Divot.
Well,
the
last time we played squads, me and Max, we filled with 2 randos, and they dropped on Tilted, and they were dead before we even landed anywhere.
Within 30 seconds.
Like, all right, see you later, guys. We're going to go over here and not die in the first 30 seconds.
We're going to unmute the mics and start talking to each other.
Yeah. Of course, they weren't talking at all. A lot of people.
11-year-olds.
I haven't filled in so long. Yeah, I don't like to talk to randoms, really.
We've met nice people. I mean,
they're fine. I don't know. When I'm playing with you guys, I say things I wouldn't normally say in mixed company.
Well, I think everyone's like that. You're more relaxed when you're talking to friends than you are talking to a stranger.
Right.
But
we could have fun with people as well when we do fill with randos. So
I will say we were talking about incentives for teamwork. They finally did add the point bonus for reviving people, and that has done absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it hasn't made much of a difference.
I think people may be worse now.
Helps us though, because we're always reviving each other. So
it can make a nice difference in your total score, but I don't see people doing it anymore.
Yeah,
more often than before, unfortunately.
I've noticed people now start to box you in and then dance and watch you die just to see what you had.
Yeah. Get your stuff.
Let's get his stuff. I've had plenty of people jump over my body while I'm crawling. I just see him. I'm like, oh, is he coming to save me? And then it's like, nope, he just wanted to jump over my body. But anyway, we're back to Fortnite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this isn't the Fortnite podcast.
Not yet.
It's not.
But anyway, seems like there was another tidbit of Splatoon 2 I was wanting to mention. but I have forgotten what that is.
Splatfest, Octo stuff.
Oh, yeah. I do remember. Someone got a new amiibo set. I remember correctly.
Oh yeah.
Tell us the details.
Oh, Marina and Pearl? Oh, they're so pretty. Got all sorts of nice detail on them. Got really nice colors.
And you've got the other Splatoon stuff too, right? Did you get the Splatoon 2 pack as well from the launch?
I don't think I did.
No.
Those are really
You got Callie and Marie, right?
Yep.
They're expensive now?
Yeah, the Splatoon 2 single packs. Just a 3-pack that came out at the beginning.
Yeah.
On Amazon. I'd like to get
How much?
They're expensive. I think they're
$20
or $30 each. Am I thinking right?
Yeah, but something like that. I know it's a lot. No, I didn't think I got those. I know I didn't get the 3-pack.
See, I'm still sitting on an unopened Duck Hunt, Game & Watch, and Rob 3-pack from GameStop. And that's probably worth like $15 now.
I never did get that, even though it had Duck Hunt in it.
I wanted it mainly for I mained Rob for a while, and then I mained Game & Watch. And I wanted a little mini Rob because I thought that was cute.
No.
And then Duck Hunt, I'm okay with. I like it enough. I didn't like playing as Duck Hunt, the game. I like Game & Watch. He won me over. He had good movesets. Except for his stupid octopus.
I look forward to playing this time. Hopefully we will all get that and we can get some good games going. Maybe get to... I don't know if anyone has set up to stream it, but it would be neat to get it streamed to our Twitch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of smashed out still from the last iteration. It feels like it wasn't that long ago.
No, it doesn't. No.
In the time that we've had one Animal Crossing, we're going to get 2 smashes?
Good point.
3 smashes.
If you count the 3DS.
3D, Wii U.
Yeah. Come on, Nintendo.
Yeah. The Animal Crossing has very much surprised me that there's no announcement for it.
Yeah.
They might just be waiting until they need it.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But I did see that Best Buy, I saw Nintendo had tweeted out that Best Buy is running a deal right now for like $329. You can get a Switch and your choice of either the Robot Suit or Variety Pack Labo, which the suit one's more expensive.
Yeah.
For $329, so it's like only $30 for your choice of Labo thing. What a deal!
There's been a lot of other deals too, like where you get a gift card, or not a gift card, but like a eShop card with it. So, but
really going in.
I think it was in Europe, wasn't it?
I think so. It was like a $20 eShop card, but it was still $2.99.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. It is. That would definitely be an incentive there.
Yeah, if you don't have a Switch and you're
But
looking
it seems like they're really trying to pick up a Labo set.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all thought it was worth it enough to not buy it.
Except for Z. If Z was here, he would.
But if you got kids,
you got kids. Or Barry. Barry enjoyed it as well, I believe.
Yeah. His kids at the right age. Right.
Yeah.
Not that Labo
I'd play with it for 5 minutes.
Like if it went down to like $20, I'd probably get it.
Yeah.
It would be fun to get it and play with it.
Yeah.
And then figure out
for a day.
Maybe a week. You broke it up and done one a day.
One project, every few days. And then $60.
Then you can spend the rest of your life wondering what you're going to do with these pieces of cardboard that you refuse to throw away because I paid money for them.
And there's strings on them and tape and all kinds of stuff. Rubber bands.
Well, this is just nothing to do with anything. If we all had Labo, would you customize it beyond the instructions?
No.
Probably not.
Absolutely not. Okay. We're good then.
Yeah.
I'm not defacing this very expensive cardboard
Yeah.
or crayon.
That's how I feel. But that's what it's for. It's not meant to last. Kids would love to do that, though. They'd love to decorate it.
Good thing I don't have.
My daughter's all about stickers. She'd be putting Shopkins stickers all over it.
Get that off my Nintendo stuff. That's not Nintendo.
I've got a Shopkins sticker on my shirt right now. I don't remember what I got it for, but I did something good today.
World's best
Earned a
dad,
sticker.
obviously.
I guess so. Anyway, sorry to take you into Labo Land for a second. It's still out there, folks.
It still exists, and they're still looking to get rid of it.
Yeah. It's going to be huge. Just you wait.
We do make these little reports. I was by Target this week, and I did happen to go through the electronics and look. I did not see any Amiibo or any Labo at all. So still had about 20-something 3DSs for sale. But
it's because they're selling so hot.
That's right.
My Target, I don't think they had any Amiibo. They had one NES Classic thing.
Oh, nice.
And they do still have their Labo.
Well, I haven't even looked to see if for an NES Classic. I haven't even been out.
Look either.
They had one.
I just assumed they would be gone. But if they continue to be well stocked, I'll probably pick one up for the kid.
Yeah, I would.
Maybe Christmas or something.
I wouldn't mind getting one, but I don't know.
I'm surprised. I've got like a couple friends that have bought them that aren't necessarily hardcore Nintendo people. Like they don't have 3DSs and they don't have Switches, but they have an original NES and all the games that are in the NES Classic. And they're like, I just picked up an NES Classic. It's awesome. It's like, but you already have an NES and all those games.
Yeah.
Like, I just like the idea of the convenience of it, of not having to change games and whatever. Yeah. I always thought years ago Nintendo should have done a box like that was just had an internet connection and would just a virtual console box that you could just download games. Like you want to talk about microtransactions, just make a game that has like maybe a Super NES controller with it. That way it'd cover all the bases, for the most part. Or they could even make one that took any of the ones, had a port for an N64, for GameCube, for whatever, and just sell different virtual consoles out of one box, the Nintendo box.
Or even
just only played virtual console stuff.
If they wanted to sell more, they could do one that was just NES and have it come with a controller, and that way it'd just be the NES Mini and have NES games. But I think the difficulty there would be maintaining like the shop there or whatever, and
the licenses,
keeping all that up.
Oh yeah, in the shop.
Yeah.
They can't even get the Switch eShop straight.
Yeah, they basically have one to worry about. I mean, the 3DS is already kind of finished and he's tossed things in a little at a time, but yeah, I don't understand them.
I don't even look. I mean, I just realized this week that I don't know when the last time I collected my Nintendo points was. Like, I've just quit going to that site too.
I've popped in.
It's just not worth it.
I've popped in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and that's only because I've seen updates on Twitter about like the Octo expansion case you could print and put on your Switch.
Oh, you know what? There was a new free or not free, but a silver coin Animal Crossing theme.
I bought that.
So I picked one of those up for myself and one for my daughter. You can get it up to 5 times.
Nice.
That's their new way of helping you get rid of your thousands of coins. Like, well, I'll just buy 5 of these and then try to find some other friends that don't have my Nintendo accounts.
And that would still want them.
Yeah, that would still want a new theme. I put it on my daughter's 3DS today, and she hadn't turned it on since I had put it on there. She goes, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "You don't like it?" She's 5, by the way. And as soon as she turned it on, she just didn't recognize what was on there. She's like, "What's this?" And she's like, "That's not what I had." So I had to put the mustached Mario one back on for her. That's her theme of choice.
Hey, if I'd have known it, I could have given you mine. I bought an extra one by mistake.
Oh, I bought an extra one on purpose. Usually, whenever you can buy, she's got the Luigi one too. Whenever they do those where you can buy up to 5, I always pick one up for her.
That's cool.
Which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And she's got the Sonic the Hedgehog ones too, which she occasionally will swap on there. She was wearing her Sonic the Hedgehog shirt again today. She wore it to school.
Nice.
She's all about Sonic. She'll run and tell me she's fast like Sonic.
Does
So
she
maybe
like
she'll
chili
like
dogs?
this. Chili dogs? Yes.
There you go.
And she doesn't play Sonic Mania very much though, but I know it's stuff. I've been seeing it all over the news. Or all over, not the news, but our news sites.
Right.
So it's getting close to releasing their updates, I think, and the physical version.
Nice. That's still a game I'd like to pick up.
The thing is, if you like Sonic games, then yeah, get it. But I've never been able to really get into a Sonic game and be like, this is a great game. Like, I know everybody loves Sonic 2, and I've played it quite a bit with my daughter, and it doesn't really grab me. So I don't think Sonic's for me. But I digress. What else we got?
I also wanted to toss in, since we were talking about Nintendo rumors and things going on. There was a rumor just released, I found out just before the podcast, in fact. Supposedly, there's a Nintendo Direct on the way, and a headline...
Yeah, they're saying July 26th, so
Yeah.
that's when this podcast drops.
Yeah, so so you might hear about it here at the same time it actually happens.
Yeah.
But the big title for it is supposed to be a remake of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. And if I'm not mistaken, it is actually the anniversary of the game. I don't remember which anniversary, but I saw some nice fan art for it. So that could make sense.
Yeah, and they're saying for 3DS, not for Switch.
That's right.
Which would make sense because that's the N64 system.
But the Thousand-Year Door was...
Oh, was that GameCube?
The GameCube or Wii?
I thought it. What was the 64? That was just Paper Mario, wasn't it?
That's my favorite.
Just plain old Paper Mario. So yeah, it probably was GameCube. But the 3DS is becoming the GameCube one too now with Luigi. I sort of expect whenever the next Direct does happen, we'll see some more remasters. They were hot on the Zelda remasters anyway. And then Star Fox 64 was kind of a remaster when they put that on 3DS. So I think they'll go back to the well at some point.
It was GameCube, and the anniversary for the Japanese release was July 22nd, and it was released in 2004. So 14-year-old game.
Wow.
Still revered as a great game.
Yeah, that's the one I hear everyone talk about. So, and I've heard lots of complaints that the Paper Mario franchise has changed.
It really has.
And they
I
just
did
want
not
to
buy
get back
Color
to what
Splash.
it was. But the thing is, they've got the Mario and Luigi series going too, and it's like I feel like those two kind of compete. Like those kind of occupy the same space as Paper Mario a little bit. Because was Paper Mario turn-based?
Yeah.
So it's
Paper Mario, though, it has a lot of, the quirky
elements.
Mario humor in it, and good characters and stuff. It's interesting.
It makes sense with Labo to do a Paper Mario or Cardboard Mario.
That would be so perfect if you could make your own amiibo. It was just like a set, and it was just like cut out cardboard or something.
Game & Watch would work real well with that.
Yeah.
That's what the new Labo needs to be.
Super thin Labo. It's just card paper now. Card stock.
There you go.
Labo Jr. What's that new disease going around?
Oh yeah, there is a new disease going around, and I apologize if you catch it from the podcast since we have mentioned Fortnite. If you did not know, the Twitch streamer Ninja passed away recently from Ligma. He come back to life somehow,
Ligma, that's right.
but
Ligma.
he died of Ligma.
Ligma.
So if you catch,
You'll have to look it up.
If you're watching this podcast and you contract Ligma, we are no way responsible, and we will not pay for your medical bills.
Catch the meme while it's hot.
That's right.
Ligma will be gone by Thursday when this comes out.
That's right. There will be something else big.
I haven't seen a Tide Pod in forever on the internet.
Oh, I'll bring those back up.
They come and they go.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, that would be people would buy anything remastered. I'd like to see more remasters than Wii U ports, probably. Us Nintendo people, we just want to keep playing the same games over and over.
Over and over.
Even if we've played them and beat them many times, we'll say, play that again.
But we also want to play them on Switch, damn it.
Yeah.
Like Luigi's Mansion would have done so well on Switch.
Oh, and you could take it off and use the Joy-Con to point the
Poltergust.
Poltergust 2000. Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I know Captain Toad. Has anyone played the demo on that?
No.
I've downloaded it, I think.
It uses the Joy-Con as a pointer control. So in lieu of the touch screen, unless you're playing in handheld mode. That was another complaint I heard on it. So in handheld mode, you only have gyro controls, and in docked mode, you only have motion. You only have pointer controls. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. You only have pointer gyro controls in docked mode. You have touchscreen in handheld. So it's more close to the Wii U version, I guess, in handheld. But you have no option. You can't choose to have there's a section where you're in the mine cart. I don't know if you guys ever played the original on the Wii U.
Yeah,
but there's like a mine cart section where you've got you use the gyro to kind of aim to shoot stuff. I forget what you're shooting. You're shooting something at something from the mine cart.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But like they don't give you an option to use the sticks, or you can only use the sticks in docked mode. You can't use the gyro, even though the Pro Controller has gyro, and the Joy-Cons have gyro. And you can only use gyro mode when you've got it in handheld, and you can't use the sticks. But there's no option to switch the control. Like it's that Japanese thing I've talked about, where they want you to play the game the way they want you to play it.
Nintendo should learn their lesson from that, and I don't really understand, especially with a remastered game or a port, basically. Why do they feel the need to force the way you choose to play it? What controls you have? I don't understand that at all.
Yeah.
They've decided this is the best way and this is the only way, and screw you if you have an opinion that's different than that.
It's almost
like Splatoon even has an option,
Yeah.
At least that gives you an option to turn off motion control if you don't want it.
Yeah.
The way they're set this up, though, it almost seems like they're hiding shortcomings somehow. I don't know what those would be. But
I don't know. I don't know how I got on that from Luigi's Mansion, but pointer controls, I guess. They have pointer controls in Captain Toad, so it's now officially a thing. And then we'll get Wii Motion Plus, so they'll be more accurate.
That's right.
Joy-Con Plus. Yeah.
I did download the WarioWare Gold demo. I played that. It just felt like any other WarioWare game.
The same as every Wario game. That's kind of what I felt. I didn't download it. I was like, I've already got that. When Club Nintendo, or not Club, My Nintendo gave away a Wario game at the very, very beginning. Was it a DS one or an
It's
advanced one? One or the
something like
other.
that. If you've
It's
played that,
is it
like
touched? It might be touched, so that's probably the DS one. But yeah, so if you've played any WarioWare game, you've played them all.
any handheld Wario game, it's I couldn't bring myself to play more than a little of it. It's just like I've played this before, and it's like
Yeah.
very similar games.
It always reminds me. It always seems like Rhythm Heaven is like an offshoot of WarioWare. Like they're both like kind of mini games. But yeah, I don't know. They're okay. They're never going to be system sellers. That's one of those ones that they put out, and I wonder how many people are really buying them.
I've heard people say that they're excited for this,
Yeah.
and that's one they're wanting to try. And it's like, what's there to
So
try?
maybe they should put out a Wario 2DS with a big fart on it. That's Wario's trademark, you know.
I thought it was garlic.
I've got I'm wearing a T-shirt right now today that has the silhouettes of 6 of the Mario Kart racers, and it's got their little Japanese name. And I was having my daughter see if she could identify who the racers were from their silhouettes, and she was identifying. And then I got to Wario. I was like, "Who's that?" And she goes, "It's Buttman." So I don't even know where she's encountered Wario, but she knows that he likes to fart and stick his butt out. So that's what she knows about Wario.
Maybe, yeah, that's interesting.
But I have no idea where she knows him from because she's only really played Odyssey. I guess he's in. Oh well, he's in Mario Kart 7. I guess she's got that. But does he fart? I don't know.
That's really unusual that she knows that.
Maybe she just calls him Buttman because she thinks he looks like a butt. I don't know. I thought it was funny though, and she was back saying "Pika Pika" today too.
Nice. Encourage that behavior.
I don't know. Yeah, speaking of
Pokemon, we did get some new news this week on the Pokemon Let's Go series, and I think this is pretty interesting. This comes from the actual Pokemon website, I believe it's the Japanese version. So basically, the news was the requirements to enter a gym have been changed. Before, you just basically, for the most part, challenged the gym when you wanted to. Sometimes there was like little story elements you had to complete to challenge the gym. But now they're making it a requirement to get into the gym. There's something there. And I guess it's meant to be, like teach you the basics. Like the first gym is obviously Brock. If you're not familiar with the series, who's a rock type user, and you have to have a grass or water type Pokemon, which was the example that they showed, to enter the gym, to even attempt to beat the gym. I don't know. It's just kind of, it's forcing you to play a certain way. I guess it's helpful to some. But again, it's kind of another thing where Nintendo is forcing their way upon you.
Is that in Pokemon Go?
No, it's in Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee.
Oh, the new Let's Go's. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's nothing that fancy in Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. Still, I'm very curious to see how many people will translate to this game from Pokemon Go where they haven't played before. They really need to sell it as an entry-level game or something. I don't know.
I've heard a lot of talk of people saying that Switch is doing better than Xbox overall right now. Like, so people are still buying it. So when there's that many out there, and it kind of being able to be a portable makes it a de facto kids car system, Pokemon will probably fly pretty well.
Yeah. Should. I hope so.
Not to mention the uninformed just saying, hey, there's a new Pokemon game, and picking it up. Not everybody's on the news sites all the time like we are.
It's true. I think kids in the store, especially as it's coming out of the holidays, they'll see, especially if they put Pikachu or Eevee right on the front and big goofy images, which I think they will be.
Yeah. They're going to have cardboard stand-ups probably, and like all kinds of signage. Probably a demo on the Switch demo station.
Oh yeah, that's something else. Not to just jump
Smash.
topics. I wanted to mention about Smash. They also asked Bill Trennan about a demo for Smash Ultimate, and he kind of gave the same wibbly wobbly answer that he gives. Not committing to anything. But I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. I know before, when they've done Smash, they've always had it at Best Buy. They usually have it during E3, and you could go to Best Buy and stand in a really long line for your chance to play a 3-minute round of Smash and get eliminated by someone half your age.
Yeah,
That's I'm just talking about myself.
I'm going to disclose a deep, dark Nintendo secret that I have that I've never told anyone till now. I was so caught up in the Smash hype last time. But as a person who hates everybody and everything, I had my emails set to not receive promotional emails from Nintendo. So I did not get, when they released their demo for Smash 3DS, I did not get one of those codes. So I went on eBay and bought one for $1. Just to play the special demo, which I felt embarrassed to do. I was like, because I don't know if everybody got a code that was on the mailing list or just some people, but I remember it's like, check your email, you might have a code. And I never got a code for anything. And then so I had to set it up to receive promotional emails. I got the special Miitomo one, or not, Miitopia. Wait, was it Miitopia? Not me. No, what's the other one? What was it, Miitopia? What was the one before that?
Tomodachi.
Tomodachi, yeah. Tomodachi Life. I got the special move-in edition before it was available for everybody. But yeah, so I had to buy a Smash demo for $1.
I don't think everyone got those, but I think I did get one. And it seems like, if I remember correctly, didn't they mail them out and you got one and then you got like two to share with a friend?
Yeah, got one to share with a friend or two to share with a friend, yeah.
So
something like that. So I just got somebody else, but I wanted to play as the villager, and that was one of the like 4 characters or something that you could play as.
I think I almost played more of the demo than I did of the game in the beginning.
Yeah, I played the demo a bunch. That when the game came out, I was like kind of out, but I don't know. I got into it that way because I had never really enjoyed a Smash game before, so I liked it. I think they should do a demo.
Yeah. I don't know. They seem to be moving away from these in-store events. I know they've lost Toys R Us, but GameStop is still there and Best Buy, but they haven't. There for a while, it's like every month or every other month they were having some type of event at one of the stores, whether it was for whatever major game was coming out.
Well, I think in that article that you mentioned, they kind of asked Trennan if there was going to be like a global test punch type thing, because that seems to be the way that they're doing it now.
Right. I don't know. That'd be really interesting if it was like. I'm glad you brought up about that special demo because that's very much what it would be like.
But I wonder how the participation is in that. Like we've complained before about the fact that when they do these global things, it's like you have to be here during these certain hours.
And it's always on
It was a little bit better with the tennis one, and that it was just a whole weekend or whatever. But yeah, it's always on a weekend.
And if you remember how they handled their other fighting game, which we'll talk about in a bit, the Pokémon Tournament DX, I think they did the one for the Wii U the same way they did the Switch. You can download a demo and have limited time playing.
I thought you meant their other fighting game.
Their other fighting game.
Which is still doing events. ARMS, remember that Smash it?
Oh yeah.
That does exist.
It's still a thing.
ARMS got both. They got a demo and.
Although the demo didn't come out until the game had been out for over a year.
Yeah, but they didn't have in-store events, but they had major events because I think Z went to one of the events. That's around the time they were giving out the water bottles.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They do their little summer thing, which I don't know if I've heard about this year.
I haven't either.
But I'm sure they're doing it. Maybe I did. Maybe Reggie said, we're going to all the malls again.
Yeah, they were doing that. They never go to a mall remotely nearby.
No, I've never had one. The closest one to me is always up in the Chicago area, which is like a good 3.5, 4 hour drive.
Yeah, my closest one is usually 4 to 6 hours, and that's a long way to drive to play some demos of games that I probably already own.
To stand in a line to play some demos of games
That you already
with a
own.
bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And then find out there really are no water bottles when you get there.
I have to say, though, as far as the in-store events, if they ever do that again, I highly recommend going and checking it out. The reps are always very nice, and there's other adults that go, and they just kind of know you're an adult, and it's like, if you want to play this game, you can. If not, here's the goodies I'm giving out. And you get some neat stuff. Still a little upset that I didn't get this squid hat that they gave out that one time. I missed it by one person.
I've got a squid hat.
Do you?
Yeah, but I paid for mine.
Yeah.
It's like a winter hat. Best Buy was selling.
Oh, that sounds cute.
These were the little, like the little squid that sits on your head and the tentacles hang down.
I
wanted one of those. But I digress. We're not here to talk about the woes of Jason.
Yeah, but even those in the store things, they don't have them by me. So I wonder how good they work because so many people are nowhere near where they are.
And they were always like on Saturday at 2 in the afternoon, which nobody's ever busy at 2 in the afternoon on a Saturday.
Right.
But
well, most working class stiffs aren't. That's their day off. That's your day when you do everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
That's where he's up with the birds. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of bird watching on the weekends. But, yeah. So we were talking about Pokemon Tournament DX just a moment ago. And I wish Z was here to elaborate on this more. But we did get some news that the Pokemon Tournament DX Pro Controller, which seems to get a lot of good positive reviews, is now available for Steam support. So if you have one of those and you want to play it on Steam, you can do it. I think that's really cool that Steam is giving support to Nintendo products like that.
Yeah, although that controller still boggles me. It's just a D-pad and some buttons.
I think it's really weird. They have the 4 little buttons in the middle, which is like Start, Select, ZR, ZL.
Yeah. Why is that better than a Pro controller?
I don't know. It baffles me. I've never played on one, so I can't really say, but I don't know.
The older I get, I'm starting to appreciate the stick over the D-pad. I always loved the D-pad. But yeah, for these modern games, I wouldn't want to play Fortnite with a D-pad.
I think one thing is they've made them much more accurate. If you think about the Joy-Con sticks compared to like the N64 stick.
Or maybe they haven't, and maybe we've just gotten more used to using them, so we're more accurate with them now that we've had years of playing on them.
That's true.
That's true.
I have had several people say that they think that the Switch would be better off if it had the 3DS style sticks, so that it would be flat enough you could stick it in your pocket.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, I could see that because it's supposed to be portable. I'll take it with you places. If you're worried about it breaking it off or something.
If you do have one of those smaller carrying cases, which is what I have, where it's just big enough to put your handheld Switch in some games, it catches on the strap. If you have one of the 3DS ones, you'll know what I'm talking about too. The strap where you slide it under it to hold it secure, it catches on it no matter how you pull it out. I mean, it's not bad. You can learn to be careful of it, but still, if it was flat, it would just slide in and out so much easier.
I can't remember if I saw it. I might have been on Reddit, or I can't remember if I saw it from one of you guys or Reddit or Twitter, but I saw somebody is kickstarting a new carrying case for the Switch, and it's basically got a shoulder strap, and it's like $80 or something, and people are like, "Oh, thank God! I've been wanting a case with a shoulder strap so I can carry it finally this way." I'm like, "Are you crazy? It's $80." I'm like, you could sew a strap onto any of the cases for much less than $80. Like,
Put the
of course,
case in the bag.
they had like the $200, black or brown leather or faux leather, and like the fancy ones. But I don't know. Like, it's weird to me when people kickstart a case. Like, it doesn't do anything special. It just holds your Switch and has a strap on it. But people were freaking out, like, this is the greatest thing. Finally, somebody gets me. I can wear it like a purse now.
Or you could just put it in a bag with a shoulder strap.
Yeah.
For a lot
A bag
cheaper.
that you bought for less than $80.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm surprised we haven't seen more. There's probably a ton on Kickstarter and all those things that I just don't look at that never hit the news sites, so I don't know about. But the Switch seems to have really sparked people's creative juices or their greed.
But a lot of this stuff is, like you say, it's just pointless. Like,
Yeah.
it holds an extra set of Joy-Con or something, and it's like, you're going to use that a lot.
Yeah, like I said, even the ones that I can kind of see, like the I think I mentioned last week, maybe with this, I could see Z buying as the flip grip, which allows you to still use the Joy-Con but hold the screen in vertical mode.
Yeah.
So you can play some of those like arcade classic games like Punch Out, which I haven't played since I bought really. That has like a vertical mode, or some of the other arcade games have the vertical modes. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's okay, but I could just put it in a stand in vertical mode and play it that way.
Yeah.
Or lean it up against something in vertical mode. So,
I would think a simple kickstand would be much more interesting and doable.
Well, I wonder if they would do that with a future. Like, I think that's one thing that needs to be adjusted on the Switch.
Yeah.
Is they need to be a kickstand, but how badass would it be if they made a kickstand that like had a swivel on it?
Yeah.
So you could actually put it in vertical mode or in side mode, or something like that.
It wouldn't be that hard.
I really think they need 2 kickstands.
If they even just did a wider one or a longer one.
Yeah.
Just made it to where you could stand it. Like the photo frames you can get where it just has the little right angle on it. You can stand it either way.
Yeah, I still hate that kickstand. That's one of the worst things on the Switch design.
You feel like you're going to snap it off anytime you touch it.
Yeah. I also hate the Joy-Con somehow reconnecting, even though it didn't disconnect when I'm playing games, occasionally in handheld mode. My left one will just go click in the middle of the game.
And not to drag it back to Fortnite again, but that is some problem that you've been having.
Fortnite specific.
Well, one thing that we've all experienced, I think, is the left drift, and we get that from just on the Switch version.
Yeah, where your character just will, when you first get into a game, will just be sidestepping to the left. Well, maybe it is a Fortnite thing, because that is the game I was playing in handheld mode. When
I get it when it's just in the game too. I've been, auto running something.
Oh, the drift?
The drift. Yeah.
I've not gotten it in the game.
It's very irritating. But the thing I was getting at is your movement from the dock to handheld or vice versa. We've had many drops where you've getting dropped from the game disconnected is what I mean.
Yeah, that's like one of the things. It seems like, I don't know. I've maybe it's because all the games have the same like kind of kill screen. Like Rocket League was doing it a lot to me early on, where it just goes to the black screen that says software was closed due to an error.
Yeah.
And I thought I just had a bad Switch, because I was like, that's like a black screen of death looking thing.
Yeah.
But you guys have had it, I think, before as well. But in Fortnite, I get it a lot of times if I if I'm mid game and I pull it from the dock to switch to handheld mode to go walk and preheat my oven or whatever.
Cool your Switch
It'll
off in the
just
freezer.
put my Switch in the freezer. It just crashes.
Believe it or not. I will say there was one funny moment the other day. We were playing, and I think me and Max were both there. And Mo was like ahead of us running, and he all of a sudden he stopped talking over voice chat. You seen his character running along, and then just all of a sudden he vanishes.
There's this pile of stuff in a circle.
Pulled it from the dock.
Like
it is nice that when people disconnect in there, all their stuff stays there, so you can just run through their crap.
Yeah,
that's really nice. All right, but getting back to the controllers on Switch, there is a new little item come out, and we like to cover this kind of stuff. It's from a company called Cybergadget, which we've talked about before. I believe they're a Japanese company, and they're working on making analog assist sticks. And it sounds like exactly what it is. It's just sticks to go on the sticks to improve your gameplay. I have some photos here that I'm going to pop up on the screen. But, yeah, and I thought it was really interesting. They're going to release these, but not until September of 2019.
Well, you want to get the gotta get the demand out there first. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand the point of these, but I mean there are companies that have forever made like the little grip things. Like there's these little grips things that you put over
to make it larger.
Your stick. Yeah, to make it larger, give you a better grip, I guess. Non-slip things, but
this is to make
I don't. But by calling it an analog assist stick, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what if it's supposed to give you more precise movements or what.
Yeah, I'm really curious what it's supposed to do.
I did not see a price for these.
No, but they did make it for the handheld and for the Pro controller, I believe.
That's right.
Or there's Joy-Con ones and Pro controller ones.
Yeah, I've got a picture up here, and this is the what they look like off of the console itself. This is the Joy-Con version. I just picture this being on top of my sticks when I'm playing, and yeah,
we're used to how they are now, so with something different on there, it's going to mess everything up.
And as you can see here on the Switch, they're actually even more awkward looking.
Yeah. But I mean, that is one of my problems with the Joy-Con is that I feel like the sticks are too short. So maybe that would be helpful.
You know what? I wonder if it's meant to be, if it's meant to assist more direct control for the up, down, left, right motions. Like when you tilt your thumb, it keeps you going instead of going to the down, left, or down, right. It's more up, down, left, right. And it says it's great for racing and action games specifically.
It's great for all games. Come on now.
I'm really curious how much it's going to cost.
It looks like it should be about $1.99 and come with.
Yeah, I was going to say, what would you pay? What would you pay?
Yeah. But I have a feeling it'll be $10 or $15, and
I'm thinking like 20.
Yeah,
I think 20 or 30.
Yeah,
especially if you have to import them. If anyone is planning to pick these up or has an interest in this and would like to share with us your thoughts on it, we'd love to hear from you, and maybe you can enlighten us into how this will.
Maybe these are only for people who already got good.
Yeah, maybe this will help you get gooder. I don't know.
These could be the top high-end pros that are like, man, the Switch would be the best system ever if it just had a bigger stick on it. Or a taller stick.
I wish we could, if they weren't a Japanese company, I would like to contact them. Maybe I should anyway, and ask if we could get a pair to demo and review on the podcast.
Yeah.
I would love to.
See, we mentioned these on the podcast, but we're not quite sure what they are.
Could you explain to us the benefits of these buttons on top of a stick?
Yeah.
But the Pro controller already has grown-up adult big boy sticks on it.
Yeah. Maybe if you have really big hands or something and your thumbs are extremely long. I don't know. If you're a Seinfeld fan, you say maybe they
Yeah.
How long until somebody invents one of these sticks where the right one is like corrects the angle of the stick so that it's so that it's like, comes to the left and then comes up, so the stick's in the proper placement so they're not straight up and down over the buttons. That I could see.
That could be useful.
That adjusts the angle of the stick so it's offset from the buttons, as it is on the Pro controller and the Xbox controller and the PlayStation controller.
I'm sorry, I'm mesmerized right now picturing if I was playing my Switch with the Joy-Cons elevated, and I'm just figuring out how that would work. So that's definitely
It's probably more comfortable.
Maybe.
I can see that.
All right. So I'm gonna.
We're pumped.
We're pumped for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Might as well go ahead and mention the other bit of weird. Well, I'm gonna say the one bit of weird news for the end, so you have to wait for that. But the other bit of tech news coming out. We've got a new Famicom Cart coming out, and at first I thought this was really bizarre, but I've kind of learned more about it. It's a cart for Battle Kid, and it will be localized and released in Japan this September. And it's basically a homebrew game that was originally released for the NES here in the States, I guess, and maybe in Europe, I don't know, in 2010. So they're basically just making a cartridge version for Japan. I think this is just a interesting
8 years
thing.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about like video game people, or I guess this is probably really for collectors, probably, but somebody, there's an audience, I don't know how big, but there is an audience somewhere for people to buy a cart of a homebrew game that came out 8 years ago.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
So
it
it
just
makes
seems
it unique.
a little odd.
There's
It'd definitely
tons of
be
homebrewers.
collectors.
Yeah. But who's going to want it? Who's going to know about it other than other collectors who already
True.
got one? It's like, man, I can't believe I missed out on that homebrew when they did the physical release cartridge of it. Now I got to buy a reproduction card somewhere.
Well,
which is just a ROM on a cartridge, which is what this is.
I was going to spin this in another direction as well. Could this possibility be something like for games like Shovel Knight and other games that are more of a retro style? Could they make a profit over releasing limited editions for older consoles rather?
I think they could, but like even with Shovel Knight, Shovel Knight's like kind of a magic trick because it's not really using. It uses close to the original NES palette and stuff, but it's actually, you couldn't run it on an NES. It actually is using some modern stuff in there, but they've just made it look older. So I don't know if a Super NES could run it possibly, but I don't think an NES could run it. But they've done a lot. So a lot of these games, but some of them probably could run on an NES. I wonder if that VVVVV game could run on an NES.
Slime
the one I mean.
Yeah. That was
Slime Son. I just saw something about Slime Son too. Like I don't know if they just did an update for it or
I think
something.
They're make a second one.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I saw that was back. Yeah.
There's a demo in the eShop if you haven't played. It's not a bad experience at all. Anyway, it's just it's an interesting idea. It could be something that would be really neat to be in a collector's edition of a game.
Yeah.
Since they're into doing physical releases now.
I think Night Trap is out too.
Have you picked that up yet?
I have not. I don't think I'm going to. From every review I've ever seen of it, it's all in all just not a good game.
Yeah.
It was just notable for its time in history. Somebody just did something. I just saw like a video about it or something where somebody was mentioning Night Trap again. And they did bring up that Howard Phillips, I think, back then they showed the thing of him going, Night Trap. One thing I can guarantee as president of Nintendo, Night Trap will never appear on a Nintendo system. And then they showed the box art for the Night Trap for Switch. Might have been Scott the Woz that did that. I had mentioned that back when we talked about Night Trap before.
Mm-hmm.
That it was funny that he said it will never appear. And here it is. Only took 20 some years. 25.
Only that someone would care to actually do it. That's the more amazing thing to me. Yeah.
It's one of those things that if you were a Nintendo person, you remember there was all kinds of controversy over it. It's just like I remember for a long time it was a big deal about Splatterhouse being on the Wii Virtual Console because it was like that was one of those games that was like pretty gory for a 16-bit sprite game. And it's like, oh, that's got so much blood, and you play as a guy in a hockey mask and kill stuff, and it's so filled with gore. Like there's an allure to that to some people. Like, this is a controversial game, so they're gonna sell a bunch of them on Switch, and people are gonna go, "Oh, this really sucks." Mm-hmm. Just like I saw Out of This World is coming to Switch. It's been on 3DS, and Flashback is as well, which are very similar games from what I remember that aren't very good. But I remember them from the back of the comic books back in '92. Because they had good advertising budgets back then. Like they were very cool looking games at the time for Super NES. But they're like those type of games where you just play through the same screen over and over until you get it right. Where there's like something specific that you're supposed to do, but it doesn't tell you. So each screen is like its own scenario, where it's like you're supposed to know that you need to shoot this vine on a tree so that it drops down so you can swing across something. But you're just looking at this screen trying to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do. So like, I'll try to jump over the ravine, and it looks like you should be able to jump over it, but you die. It's like, I gotta look around for maybe a secret switch somewhere, and there's no secret switch that you can find. And then finally you look it up on the internet. You go, oh, I was supposed to shoot that vine off the tree that doesn't stick out in any way to know that it comes down so I can swing across to get to the next screen where there'll be something else I have to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do on this screen. It's different than like a Mega Man or something where you just get it through repetition. These just have very specific things you're supposed to do that you have to just try to figure out what the hell it is. I don't like those games. Like that Out of This World game, people can beat it in like 10 or 15 minutes if you know what you're supposed to do on each screen.
Oh.
But the fun of it is spending 3 hours trying to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do on that screen.
That does not sound like fun.
No.
Yeah,
but back in the day.
Well, it sold me on it either.
No. I did buy it on 3DS though, because it was like a $15 game and they had it on sale for like 97 cents, and I wanted the my Nintendo coins. So back when that trick worked.
Back when you cared
and
about
I think I have it on Super NES. I might have sold it now, but I had it on Super NES at one point just because I was like, oh, I remember this. Anyway, games. Old games.
Retro.
Yeah.
Well, just a moment ago, we were speaking about putting ROMs on carts, and the next topic is about putting ROMs on the internet. So Nintendo is suing someone again for an outrageous sum. This is kind of an interesting thing. They're going after 2 ROM-based websites owned by an Arizona company. Sorry, I wrote AZ instead of Arizona. Like
AZ, back in the AZ.
But anyway, so this Arizona-based company, they found out is behind these 2 ROM websites, and they think they are making a profit off of them, so they're suing them. And what they're suing them for is quite elaborate. Okay, first off, the charges are against unfair competition, copyright, and trademark infringement. Apparently, they also use images from the game to advertise on our website. $150,000 per infringement and $2 million per trademark infringement. So, in theory, they're suing this company that has ROM websites for $100 million.
Which, by the way, this company is probably a kid or a 30-year-old in a
probably some
one-bedroom apartment. Like,
his parents' basement.
Yeah.
Who's doing this? But I mean, this is something that I think has always been a possibility. They've mentioned ROMs are illegal. Don't use ROMs, whatever. It's nice that they're not going after end users, but the thing is, this is almost what they call a slap suit, where it's like just the amount of money it would take these kids to fight this suit. They're no matter what, you gotta pay for a lawyer.
Right.
No matter what. So it's like, this is one of those things that you do just to discourage everyone else who has a ROM site. Like, oh shit, I better take it down. I don't want to end up being poor for the rest of my life because Nintendo sued me for $300 billion. Or whatever. But yeah, Nintendo's probably going to start getting a little bit more litigious about this stuff with their virtual console and their NES classics. Because it's like, as soon as, because they couldn't make enough of them, everyone started. How many sites did you see where they were just like, oh, you can make an NES classic with a Raspberry Pi?
Yeah.
Like, just go download the ROMs. So now they probably view that as lost money.
I mean,
even though really a lot of those people would have just bought an NES Classic had they had the chance to a year ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
I thought it was too. I thought it was making a statement. We're coming for you, ROM websites.
Yeah.
Beware, whatever.
It's sad. I kind of hate to see stuff like that, especially because I know the 99% of the people who use ROM sites probably are people like us who just want a game, or just want to have every single Nintendo game on their phone at the same time. But there is a community of responsible game loving preservationists out there. That there's people who bundle their money together. Like sometimes there'll be someone will dig through an old garage and their dad used to work at, Konami or Data East and there's some prototype game that's never been released to the public. And these people will go on eBay and band their money together to spend $10,000 to buy this cartridge just so they can get the ROM and put it on the internet so that it's preserved out there. There are people who are just into it for that, for the, this game needs to be preserved because it hasn't gotten to that level. People, there's a film registry, the official United States film registry, where they decide what movies are important and put them in there. And I'm sure there's music stuff where, certain albums are never going to go away. But there's not really anything like that for video games yet. So these kind of ROM people are the ones preserving these games. So in 20 years from now, when you say, I want to play a Commodore 64 game.
It kind of, with Nintendo becoming more stingy with their virtual console, and it's like every generation they put a little less out there or more restrictions on it.
Yeah.
I understand they own this and they have the right to determine who can use it. I mean, I would be upset if I'd made a game and someone was giving out for free.
But would you if you made it 30 years ago?
And I wasn't making any money on it.
Yeah.
And everything, yeah.
Or not really. I don't know.
That is a very good point you make. It would be a shame to see any games lost due to time. Or due to companies, that have split up or, been absorbed by other companies.
Yeah.
Locked away behind, some kind of trademark firewall, basically. But that's a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, game preservation hasn't really become a thing yet. Maybe in the future there will be. It'll probably always be a small niche group of people who see video games as art and say, we need to preserve this. But even if the games aren't that great, it's still a piece of art that somebody spent time, making and working on, and it should be out there, at least exist somewhere, even if the public doesn't have access to it, I guess. Who knows? Maybe there'll be video game museums in the future where the only way you can play Dig Dug is to go to one of these museums. They'll have an old machine in there or something. Nah, Dig Dug will live forever.
That's a good point. That would be something interesting to see a museum do, is to have
that just had rare video games that you could play.
Rare video games, or just if they made it just like an old arcade, because there's a lot of kids today that have never known that going into an arcade and everything is sticky and gross, but you still go in there and put your quarters in, and the whole
start an old 80s style arcade and call it the video game museum.
Yep.
All the games cost a quarter.
You had the funding, man. That'd be the thing to do. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
it would be cool. I mean, there's those beercades now where people do that stuff, but yeah, I think it's important that they do that. And like I said, most people out there are just into having the ROMs, and most people, I would say, that download 900 NES games on their phone probably never play them.
Yep.
It's not it's not like someone was gonna go and buy Super Mario Brothers on Virtual Console and then was like, I'll just get it on my phone. Either way, they're gonna spend the same amount of time with it, which is 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah, play it a few times for a week and then
put it on. So at some point, I think Nintendo has made enough money off of Super Mario, even Super Mario 3.
I think
the interest has been down in that market too. The NES especially. Prices on games are dropping as the generation ages out, and there's just not the interest in people saying, I want to get an old copy of Contra. Contra went from like being a $40 game to like a $20 game.
Well, just as a person myself, I would like to go back and I think about the games like I first played the NES on my cousin's NES. And I think about the games I played that he had that I did not have. And I would still like to go back and get those just to have those. And
what games?
Play them. My favorite game as a kid was Karnov. And I don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that's made by or anything. I haven't looked at it in years.
I don't remember. It's got a K in it, though. I know that.
Yep.
Karnov. I remember that, but I never played it, I don't think.
I played that.
Everyone's got theirs, though. There was a girl that came to my house and freaked out that I had Gradius 3, and she wasn't a gamer or anything, but she had come over to my house and she's like, oh my God, Gradius 3. She's like, can we play it like right now? I was like, you bet we can. I was like, what's the deal? She's like, my grandma had bought a Super Nintendo, so when we came over to her house, we could play the Super Nintendo, and she only had Super Mario World and Gradius 3. And she's like, so I played hours of that as a kid. I was like, so everybody's got their own like little nostalgic thing that they had that no other people had, or their little weird game that wasn't a blood necessarily. I mean, Gradius 3 is a pretty big game, but the average person on the street's not going to know Gradius 3. They'll know Mario 3.
Right.
Besides from Mo, have you ever played Gradius 3, Max?
No, I never heard of it.
It's on Super NES. It's great.
I didn't have the Super NES.
I know the series, but I know I've played some of the games, but I don't know which ones or when.
It was, you could have gotten it on the Wii.
I remember it being Wii.
They should have put it on 3DS. It's the definitive Gradius, I think. The first one's not bad either. I've got that on NES as well, and that one is on 3DS Virtual Console, I think, and the Wii U. Actually, Gradius 3 might be on the Wii U. I'm not sure.
Who makes that, by the way?
But yeah, Konami.
I thought that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because there was a little Gradius Easter egg Some people call it Gradius. There's a lot of those names, Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden.
Well,
There's a lot of those ones where people will try to correct you. So maybe it's Gradius and not Gradius, but I'm going to say Gradius. But there's an Easter egg in Blades of Steel, the hockey game, which is also made by Konami, where in between periods you play a boss fight from Gradius, like on the little big screen that's over the ice.
neat.
Like in between periods, and it's like by Gradius.
That's
I used
cool.
to love that kind of stuff as a kid when
Yeah.
they would do things like that. I think RBI Baseball, which is made by Tangen, has a little thing where it says like "buy kicks" or Quicks or whatever it was, the QIX game. Like they'll have like little ads for other Tangen titles in the game. I always thought that stuff was funny.
Yeah. Well, you play those other games and it felt connected.
Yeah,
But going
you
back,
don't see that so much anymore.
no, everybody's too worried about making money off of everything, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they were back then too. It's just, I guess you can't get away. It's like I say that about '80s movies a lot. Like you can't get away with stuff the way you can get away, or you can't get away with stuff now that you could back then. But if you were playing Elder Scrolls and all of a sudden there was like an ad for Doom somehow shoveled in there, people would be like, "What's this?" Or vice versa, I guess, since Elder Scrolls came first. Anyway, sorry.
Nintendo used to be good about doing that, especially in Mario games. Like put in little, and I guess they did with
Put
Odyssey.
in original Mario Brothers and a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, just put in like little nods to things, and it's like if you grew up playing Nintendo, it's like, oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much 8-bit Mario was in Odyssey. Like,
Yeah.
it was a nice little throwback. And like I said, for someone like my daughter, who these people of this new generation coming up that didn't grow up with this stuff has no appreciation, but they also don't necessarily look at it as retro. Like games are just games, and there's so many retro games now that it's just an art style to them.
Right.
Right.
Some games look this way, some games look this way. Like my daughter will play Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is a Genesis port, and then she'll play Mario Odyssey, and she likes them both equally. It's like they're just games to her, and they just have different looks.
That's really cool. That's it.
Yeah.
In a way, it's a cool era to grow up in, to where games are just games, but wouldn't trade anything.
Yeah.
Growing up where you went from playing little pixels to things we play now.
We're at the point where they're like, oh, that guy actually looked like a human guy, kind of. I could tell it was supposed to be a human. to now it being an actual model 3D rendered of a real person that you're like, I know the actual human being that is.
Yep.
I remember playing Atari 2600. I had the Indiana Jones game.
Oh,
And yeah, and I was playing. My mom walked in the room like, "What is that orange thing on the screen?" Like, that's Indiana Jones. She just gave me this look and walked away.
I had a Commodore 64 Temple of Doom, I think, and it was like that too. We were like, I guess that's supposed to be a snake.
Yeah, I guess it might be a person.
Yeah.
Like you live your life for years assuming certain things were in games, and you find out when you get older that's not what that was.
What's even better is if you go and look up some of these like Atari, you can find like manuals, and you'll find out like, oh, that block thing was a cheeseburger, or this was supposed to be a Cyclops, or like you're like, oh, I guess it's like a constellation. You're like, I guess I sort of can see that's a lion.
Oh man, instruction manuals. I remember I have so many good memories of reading those instruction manuals, and it's like, oh, that's what those things are called.
Yeah, that's always the funny. That's always the funny one. Like you look through like a Castlevania or something like that, or Metroid even, where they give all the names of the enemies. And it's just like, it's nice to have, even though it's not necessary. And now we don't even get manuals for games.
No, I miss that.
Kids won't know having an instruction manual. The games just have to be to the point now where they're intuitive enough that you can play, which I guess is good game design.
They
You
put it
can just
all
pick
over
up
the
a game and
screen.
figure it out. Yeah, well, that's true too. They got a lot of prompts now.
And now the characters, even in games that would never have speaking parts, now have characters that speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because rabbits in Odyssey, they should not be able to speak.
The Brutals.
The Brutals. You're better off if you don't know what those are.
Yeah. They're all right.
They're all right. Yeah.
I wouldn't buy an amiibo of them or a 5-pack. It's coming. Just you wait. Anyway,
Yeah.
we got way off.
we got into a really good discussion though, but
Yeah.
yeah, we got a couple more topics to run through. I know we're kind of running a little longer than we have been, but the next on the topic list is we got a final list from Nintendo. This is from Nintendo of Japan, rather, about the top Switch games in Japan, and they give us the top physical selling games, the physical release games, and the top digital only releases. And I'll just run through them. They're pretty quick. For the physical releases, number 1, Minecraft. 2 is Kirby Star Allies, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, and then Mario Tennis Aces. I'm kind of surprised Minecraft is at the top there.
Mm-hmm.
This is of all time?
This is of, I believe, for this year, or for...
Okay.
Or no, just for, maybe just for Switch in general, if I'm thinking correctly.
Because it's hard for me to believe that Tennis Aces... I mean, because Odyssey wasn't there, right? And Breath of the Wild wasn't there?
It must be for this year, yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, Minecraft is always king. But
even physical, though. This is
to get Kirby and Mario Tennis Aces in a top 5, it has to be for this year.
It's a different world.
Which is still surprising because you would think Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. I feel like Breath of the Wild is kind of going to be forgotten for anyone that didn't have a Switch at launch. Like there's so much out there now that I don't know if, like, you know, if I was getting one now and I'm not a Zelda fan, I wouldn't buy it. I'd be like, it's a Zelda game. I'm not really into Zelda games. I heard it was great, but I also heard every Zelda game was great.
If someone come to you and said, you know, I've not bought a Switch, but I'm going to buy one this week, what game should I get with it? I don't know. I mean, Breath of the Wild is paramount for us, but I don't know that I would recommend it. I wouldn't think so.
I probably, I mean, Odyssey is such an easy one to recommend. It's like, if you like Mario games, check out Odyssey. It's an okay Mario game.
Right.
Splatoon, obviously. If you've never played a Splatoon, like, that's a new experience one for you, you know. You've not played a game quite like this. But yeah, I mean, Breath of the Wild definitely should be on the list. It's a really special experience to go through one time at least. It's and see all the stuff that's in the game. It's just like every corner there's something. That's what was so cool about it. And you'll be like, I'm gonna go in the middle of nowhere. And you're like, holy crap, there's something here.
And it really was an experience.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that sticks with you. Or like looking back, it's just like, but if you'd told me that I would ever have beat a Zelda game at all, I wouldn't have thought so. And, you know, that was a unique game that transcends the Zelda games. Like that's one of those special games that'll be up there for me for a long time. Of even though I'm done with it, and I don't even think about it on a daily basis. That was a really great experience to have, especially at a time when there was nothing else to play. But I mean, it was an amazing game, and I don't regret any of the time that I spent with it. I just haven't gone back.
Definitely.
But as far as one-time playthrough type thing, that's the game. You know, we play a lot of Fortnite, Rocket League, and there's Splatoon. There's those games that you can just go back to over and over and over again, and they're the same, but they're kind of different every time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, that's one of those things. It's as a one-time experience. You'll still get 70 or 80 hours out of it. And a joy to play.
But going to your point of things that will get lost, I think we'll see games like Snipper Clips, hopefully 1-2 Switch. Those will be games that people that pick it up later will never probably see in the store or pick up.
Not that I think it's even on the same level, but
No,
that
no.
fast racing Neo has I mean, I haven't thought of that game in forever. Like, I don't even know if they've had that one on sale ever. I think they had it in their featured section, but that's one that I feel like it's gone. Like, no one cares about you, fast racing Neo. It was there and now it's gone. I mean, you can still get it, but no one knows about that game.
Right. You don't hear anyone talking about it or saying, "Watch out for this game."
No. But at launch, everyone's like, "Oh, this is a really great game. This is definitely one to pick up." But there was everybody saying, "Oh, you need to pick up every launch title."
Yep.
Except Bomberman.
That's another one with 1-2 switch that will probably a good thing to be forgotten, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the game I bought at launch. I bought a Switch and Bomberman. Did not buy Zelda, and I was let down. I love Bomberman games, and I was just like, I just don't care about it. I guess I played through it. I beat it in like a day and was done with it. I moved on to Zelda. But yeah, that's one Zelda I would recommend. But I think Odyssey is going to be one of those ones that will be. I'm just surprised, I guess, that Zelda seems like it should be one of those evergreen titles that's always selling, and I don't know if it is. Like, I think there's a lot of people buying the system now that don't go back and pick Zelda up. I don't even know if it's still really widely available. I haven't really looked. But if you go to a Target, is Breath of the Wild right there? Like,
I don't know. I didn't look.
I don't think I ever saw any of the re-released editions of Mario Kart 8 or Breath of the Wild or even the Super Clips one.
I think I did around last Christmas. I saw I remember seeing the Zelda that had the map, I guess.
Yeah.
And I saw the Steelbook Mario Kart 8 at Best Buy a couple times, but they didn't have tons of them. But Mario Kart 8 will always be around. That's definitely one of the ones that's there. And I'm sure the Smash one's going to always be around. I don't know about Tennis Aces or Kirby.
Those will probably fade away. Kirby will probably stay longer than we had ever hoped. Those will be on clearance shelves for a long time.
They always are.
Oh. Anyway, that's talking about physical releases. We've got a mostly different story when it comes to digital only. Of course, number one is Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition. That's the top one, of course. I thought number two is interesting. Human Fall Flat in Japan. That's above Stardew Valley, Overcooked Special Edition, and Arcade Archives versus Super Mario Brothers. I'm fascinated by that one as well.
It's maybe people were just voting for Virtual Console. We won it.
Yeah.
But that was even in the US. That was in the best sellers for a long time. I think people just ignored the verses.
Very disappointed.
Yeah. I haven't heard much on Donkey Kong either. It's out. I guess they did a Nintendo Minute on it.
Oh, I saw
Probably
that.
because they were like, we've released this game and nobody has bought it. It's one of those ones that's an easy pass for me. But it is nice. Yeah, I do too, but at $8, do you like it?
No, I won't pay.
No.
Even if it is a perfect arcade port.
If someone give me that game, like if it was through Club Nintendo or something, I'll play it.
Yeah, me too. For 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a few times. And it's like, hey, it's Donkey Kong.
Yeah. It's like, that's a great game and all, but I can't justify. I had a hard time justifying it for Punch Out. And it was just because I was such a Punch Out fan that I was like, I have to just get it just to get it. Even though I know it's going to be bad. And boy, is it bad. It's not bad. It's just not great. It's not good. It's me.
You haven't
It's a perfect game to put a quarter in and then leave the arcade 5 minutes later. And skip next time you're in the arcade.
I play that.
Yeah, I played that. That's how it is. Yeah. No arcade game is really great for the most part, at least of that era. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Galaga is pretty awesome, and Dig Dug.
We're surprisingly on Dig Dug tonight. I don't know what to say.
I am. I love Dig Dug. It's because the music sort of sounds like a banjo when he moves.
It does, like it.
Yeah, no, that was one of the ones. That's one of those ones I like. That's why I was really disappointed when the Namco collection didn't have some stuff. I think it did have Dig Dug though. Did it have Galaga as well? It was really the
not
Namco collection really confused me when it came out. It didn't have Ms. Pac-Man, I know. I think it might have had regular Pac-Man. It seemed like it was missing something.
They're about making a bunch of different versions of it, and then you're going to buy the next version of it because this one may have had the version of Miss Pac-Man you wanted, but the next one will have the version of this game that you really just wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, they're weird. Oh, and in sort of kind of retro news, which wasn't on the topic list, Sega Ages has been given a vague release date of August, at least for Japan, and the price was 900 and some yen, which is basically $10 US. So while all the other systems got a $20 game that had 50 Sega games, including all the Sonic ones, they're going to sell us Sonics for $10 a piece. We'll see. Maybe they'll drop it when it comes to the US, but I doubt it. But that's another thing. It's like a Switch gouging. I feel like the arcade archives are like that too at $8, but $10 to buy Sonic the Hedgehog 1, I think I'll pass.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Aren't the Neo Geo games $8.99? Am I thinking right?
No, I think they're they might be $7.99, $8.99, something like that, which is too much.
Yep. Especially for those of
like
us who bought it multiple times.
Would you buy Super Mario Brothers 3 for $9?
No, I would not.
It's like, and that's a great game, universally heralded.
I wouldn't even buy it for $4.99, I don't think. But it's because I've played it.
Yeah, I think I did. I went through and bought for 3DS. I bought Mario 1, 2, and 3 on 3DS just to have. To be like, I've got the trilogy as a novelty.
That's a good thing to have. You can always pick one of those up and play.
Yeah. I've played through all of them at least once on the 3DS.
Nice.
Save states are amazing as an adult.
Yes.
Just be like, I'm just going to save it at this. Now that I'm at this castle, I'm going to save it before I go in.
Yeah.
You die at the same place a few times. You're like, before I get to this part that I died at, I'm going to save it. Yeah, I love save states. Anyway.
I agree. Yeah.
And Dig Dug.
Dig Dug.
Check it out.
Now I've got that little sound in my head playing. I've got a copy of Dig Dug, I think, on 3DS, on like a multi-cart or something.
Yeah, I've got a Namco museum for Game Boy Advance that has Dig Dug and Galaga and Galaxian, which I don't feel like you need Galaga and Galaxian. Galaxian came first and was a worse version of Galaga. They improved it with a game called Galaga. Galaxian is now obsolete. I feel the same way about Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man. It's like, now that Ms. Pac-Man is here, we no longer need Mr. Pac-Man. She is the superior version.
Okay. Well, we're going to leave you with we promised you a good trip tonight around Nintendo Land. We're going someplace very dark, very scary.
Uh-oh.
I hope you're not listening to this at night. If you are...
Donald Trump's America.
They remind me of each other. So this comes through a Kotaku interview with Konosuke Tanabe, who is a producer at Nintendo. I don't know how this came up or why anyone would ever ask about this, but apparently 8 years ago, Nintendo was working with a company called Vanpool on bringing a horror game starring Tingle to life. And as the interview ended, it said it was canceled due to several reasons. And I think the chief reason is that this would be utterly disturbing.
Tingle the child rapist and murderer.
I mean, isn't Tingle enough of a horror in any game he's in? I mean, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just weren't sure if they wanted to taint that character, I guess. He might not have made it to Hyrule Warriors had he been in a horror game.
If I recall correctly, there are several Tingle games in Japan that are popular, right? Am I thinking correctly?
I think there were
think
some
so.
like on some of the older systems. I can't remember what, but I think he's been the star of a few games in Japan.
Maybe they see something there that I don't.
It's probably all dumb like puzzle games or rip-offs of other games that they just threw Tingle in.
Probably.
Oh.
That would be easy.
But yeah, I don't want to. If I want a horror game, I don't want it to have a Nintendo character in it. Like none of them. Like
Resident Evil and the final boss is
Yeah.
Tingle.
they could make Metroid into a horror game. I could see like a Metroid Prime that was sort of a horror game where you're in isolation and you're walking. But I don't want that out of a Metroid game. But I could see that, and they've already got their Eternal Darkness.
Eternal Darkness
is kind of their horror series. So
I always kind of relate Metroid to Aliens, which
Alien, yep,
and it's kind of like a sci-fi / horror kind of movie.
Yeah, it's really more sci-fi than anything. It's there has been more talk, I think, of them possibly at some point. Somebody had recently said they wanted to do a Metroid movie.
That could work if they, that could work. Maybe.
Yeah.
The problem is because it's one person by themselves with no dialogue, it might not work.
If they give it to a good director, which they will not hire, they can really take the character and maybe don't try to recreate some game. Just take the universe and make a story in it.
Yeah.
I think that's...
You'd have to have other people there. That's the problem. You can't just have a girl by herself unless they can somehow do amazing internal dialogue type stuff.
Flashbacks.
Yeah.
But wasn't...
But they did that in other...
Yeah, what about that movie... It's got Sandra Bullock in it, where she's out in space.
Yeah.
Oh, Edison.
Is it?
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah.
It's not,
I can
it's
almost...
not Interstellar. It's the other one.
No, Interstellar is good. Yeah, that's a pretty good movie. But doesn't it have like Tom Hanks in it or
Tom
something?
Hanks, yeah. There's, I think... I keep thinking it's Tom Hanks, but I don't think it is. It's George Clooney, isn't it?
Yeah, it's George Clooney.
It's George Clooney.
Tom Hanks has aged out. They don't put him in movies anymore.
There was somebody in Fortnite named
I don't know
Tom
if that's
Hanks
true.
the other day. I just wonder if it was the real Tom Hanks.
Could be. I always wonder about that. I mean, this
Gravity.
is kind of a weird off-topic thing, but I'll bet you the chances, as much games as we've played online, we've probably played with a celebrity at some point and never knew. That's what's great about the anonymity of video games.
That's right.
You've probably played with somebody.
Gravity.
Gravity. Yeah,
That's it. That's why we're not a movie podcast.
that's right.
What was that one with that guy that came out a couple years ago? They were in space.
I had a long discussion earlier with a family member trying to remember the name Gene Hackman. I don't even... It's because there's a guy running for office here we run into at a restaurant, and it's like, he looks like Gene Hackman. But I couldn't think of Gene Hackman, so I was like, that guy that was in Hoosiers? You know.
Or the French Connection. I think that was
Oh, yeah.
Hackman, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway,
He's been in a ton of movies, but
Yep.
not as scary as Tingle.
not as scary as Tingle.
No.
If Tingle was in a movie, who could play him?
Jackie Chan.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp could pull it off. I want to see Johnny Depp do Tingle now. But with kind of the Jack Sparrow twang. That's
Miyamoto would be a good Tingle.
I think Miyamoto is Tingle. I would love to see him on stage say Ting Tingly to this.
I want to see him awkwardly acting.
Would pay money to see a movie with Miyamoto.
That Mario movie is still coming, and I don't know if they've said if it's gonna have live action in it as well. But if they do, I could see him getting a cameo,
like a Stan Lee in the Marvel movie.
Yeah, he'll be. Yeah, I was gonna say he'll be the Stan Lee of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
You know, just give him like a thumbs up, that thumbs down, thumbs up.
We'll get a Donkey Kong movie eventually.
So, who would play Donkey Kong?
Miyamoto. I would like to see him in like a suit where like the face is cut out, so it's actually his face, but it's a monkey suit.
Oh, this is brilliant! Yeah, that'd be perfect. The sad part is, I can
Mario, I've got your girl. This big smile. Could be fun. I would see, like, if there was a play, I think Miyamoto would be great for awkward live audience plays. Like, I could see him like tripping on stage and like doing things kind of wrong. Could be good.
It could be real good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we got some birthday cakes to dance in front of.
That's right. We got. We're going to have to cut it off here. And, anyway, by the way, our good buddy Z is not with us tonight. Just want to say, miss having you with us. Hope you're back next week, man.
Yeah.
Faites ça, les gens.
That's right. That gives you any idea about what he's doing. So, anyway, thanks for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed the podcast. And if you did enjoy the podcast, especially this interesting discussion about Miyamoto at the end, you'll definitely love to see our Twitch streams because there's a lot more like this on there. So if you want to check us out there, it's NOAP Podcast on Twitch. And of course, you can hit us up on Twitter at NOA_podcast. And of course, listen in on YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes as always. So thanks for watching. Have a good night. See you next week.
Have a good night.
Good night.